Today in the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we are going to be talking about the PG era in WWE. As we saw this week, Cody Rhodes get his butt handed to him by The Rock, and we saw blood again for the second time. Are they abandoning the PG era? Also, why is Matt Taven actually, and Michael Bennett losing AEW TV, and they are the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions? And we're going to be talking about that and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
Is the moment we've all been waiting for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One. We're back with the Forbidden Podcast one more time, and we're going to be talking about WWE. Now, this week, we saw the ending of Raw where The Rock attacked Cody Rhodes, and this is the second time I have seen Cody Rhodes colored. And if you guys don't know what color means, meaning he's bleeding. WWE never or barely showed this as far as having somebody bleeding and you see blood. They try to cut that camera angle. They try to make sure that you don't see blood and whatnot. And this has been going on since McMahon era was there. Now, I do not know if this is a new thing now with WWE, with Triple H there, The Rock in there, head of the board, and TKO. Now we're seeing blood. Unless, the owners are like, well, you know what? We own UFC. They show blood on the UFC. So we're just, I think they changed it to more of a sport-like type of programming. Now, the funny thing is, what have we been hearing for the last maybe 3 years is these WWE stands talking about AEW and why we always see Jon Moxley bleeding. Why is Brandon Dennison always bleeding every week? Somebody's always bleeding every week. And we heard this throughout 2023, the ending of 2022. And we heard this when it came to AEW. Now, I don't care if I ruffle some feathers here, because again, I always say this is my platform and I'm going to speak what I've been seeing and hearing for the past year and a half. Certain individuals, when it comes to WWE, when they do something, oh, it's fantastic, it's beautiful, it's awesome, blah, blah, blah. But when it's AEW, oh, it's stupid. Why are they doing that? Tony Khan don't know what the hell he's doing, blah, 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 blah. Now, the reason I am even touching this subject was because of what we saw this week with The Rock beating up on Cody Rhodes and he making him bleed while they were wrestling outside in the ring in Chicago. And the what I saw afterwards, okay, the aftermath, the tweets, the comments on social media. Oh, how great, the fantastic, the Attitude Era is back. Oh, I love what Cody, Cody bleeding and this and that. But it's funny, how is it in the world that you guys now, you see Cody bleeding and it's all right? Now, the PG era, I mean, if you really think about it, you want to go there. Let's talk about this. Now the PG era is gone. Yes, the PG era has been around since 2009, probably, because John Cena and the kids, you got to be careful. You can't say certain things because, WWE is catering to the kids. But it's funny that now all of a sudden WWE has decided that they're going to take the raunchy spot or the raunchy route and now start cursing, start, making comments that are no longer PG. But isn't it funny now that They doing this because they have seen AEW do it on TBS and TNT. You know, some guys just say he's the F word. I remember Jack Perry once said the F word, which he got, fined for that. But the word shit, a-hole, dick, everything has been coming out at AEW. And everybody's like, oh, that's raunchy. They shouldn't be doing that. Kids watch that. But all of a sudden now, WWE is taking that route. So not only are they not putting blood on TV, but now they have The Rock cursing up a story, even though they're blocking it and whatnot. They doing that now all of a sudden. And people are gonna be like, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Because when I bring stuff up like this, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. And it's sad that the damn IWC community or the wrestling community itself, you got a bunch of morons who don't know what the hell they're talking about. Okay. You got people, because you say something. As far as the best one I got was when I saw that Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan may show up at WrestleMania 40. And I said, for what? Why are they purpose for them to come out at WrestleMania 40? Why do you need these old ass people who already passed their prime, had no business being in the wrestling ring? And mind you, yes, you have two of the biggest stars in modern era of the wrestling era, of the Attitude Era. You had the Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania era. Okay, fine. They were big when it came to pro wrestling. They changed the landscape of pro wrestling, but they're already 60. What are they gonna do in a WrestleMania? But take a segment away from another wrestler, a wrestler who could be using that 5-10 minutes to do something to make their career memorable. No, everybody's talking about, nostalgia is part of WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania 40. Who cares about nostalgia? This is what WWE lives, because they need to remind people, oh, this is what we did back in the days. Okay, fine. That's why you've been around for so long, because you made it happen. But I have nobody, listen, let's be realistic. Anybody born in 2000 and after that, don't remember none of this shit with the Hulk Hogan's or Steve Austin. Okay? If you was born in 2000 and on to now, 2024, you never saw Steve Austin wrestle. And if you did, probably when he was already toward the end of his career. Okay? Even when you was 3, if he was born 2000, Stone Cold already had ended his career. He was being a general manager. And mind you that he was doing his thing, I think 2003, that era between 2003 and 2005 was one of the best, 2000 eras that WWE had. It was the ruthless aggression time, because I remember when they had Evolution there, and they had Triple H and his Evolution running rampant with Stone Cold Steve Austin as being the general manager. It's fine. Those are good eras. Okay. But the PG era has been around for so long that now all of a sudden you have Cody Rhodes for the second time bleeding, because I think the first time Drew McIntyre busted him open. This is the second time. And I spotted that a mile away. When I saw Drew McIntyre, I think, bust Cody Rhodes' head open, I'm like, wait a minute. Since when WWE shows this on TV? They usually put it black and white. Because I remember one time Triple H went and threw Brock Lesnar to the ring post and busted Brock Lesnar wide open. And they show the blood, but they put it black and white. So now all of a sudden they're doing this. So let's be realistic, okay? And people could, like I said, I could ruffle some feathers or whatever, but I see a lot of things in the wrestling community. And I told my boy the other day, I hate the wrestling community right now, because the majority of the wrestling community are either blind, the tribalism is ridiculous. It just don't make no sense. Like, you guys are going crazy over stuff that AEW already been doing, but when they do it, it's not good. It's messed up. But that's the only, I mean, I was one of those people where I saw Jon Moxley every week getting bleeding. I was like, this ain't ECW. They need to stop that. You know what I'm saying? But I got used to it already. You know what I'm saying? And before anybody starts talking crap, like the one that told me, because I said that why they brought the nostalgia or whatever, somebody called me a Cody Crybaby, which I never even mentioned anything about Cody Crybaby, but it's always assholes. And I'm going to mention the page, Dirt Sheet Radio on Facebook. Every time I comment there, they got some clown, someone who probably just in his mother's basement, and yeah, I'm gonna say in some in their mother's basement, eating cupcakes and talking shit on the internet, okay, and making no sense. At no time did I mention anything about Cody. So because I don't agree with, WWE bringing these old people into WrestleMania, how does that make me a Cody crybaby? Goes to show you there's people, the minute they hear something new, like now this is the new trend, Cody crybaby. Oh, I'm going to use that on the next person. You're a fucking moron. It's no other way to put it. You're a moron. You know what I'm saying? And this been the problem with ever since AEW started. This is what you see online. The comments, the stupidity. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. It just don't end. It just don't end. So are they ditching the PG era? I think they are, because now they're doing it more sport oriented. And the fact that TKO owns UFC and they show blood and they're not blocking anything. Now we're probably going to see more blood in WWE. I don't think they're going to do it every week, but once in a while, Cody's one that he blades himself all the time. He's known for that. So, The Rock just doing what he does best, and what he did this past weekend, and I like that nice little thing, the final boss, so it sounds like a damn video game, to be honest. The final boss before you get to the tribal chief. What happens in games that you got to go through certain obstacle? You got to beat the big boss in order for you to get to the bigger boss. So The Rock is calling himself the final boss, which is perfect, because now he don't call himself Hollywood Rock. He's not calling himself, the Brahma Bull. He's calling himself the final boss. Perfect. It's not anyone. And now by him beating up Cody, now, pretty much you give him more sympathy to Cody. Now, what's going to happen at night one? They are going to lose. I'm going to say it right now. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes are going to lose, because then they're going to put the pressure on Cody when now he's got to wrestle, tribal chief rules or whatever the hell they call it, and he's the bloodline is going to be everywhere. Now, is anybody going to help him? We don't know, but that's going to be interesting. I definitely looking forward for next weekend for the WrestleMania night 1 and night 2 to see what happens and whatnot. So let's move on right now to talk about what I saw on AEW Dynamite this week with the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions Michael Bennett and Matt Taven. Now, we all saw back in December World's End when Adam Cole revealed himself as the devil. We all knew that was going to be him. I had a feeling that Matt Taven and Mike Bennett and Roderick Strong were part of that. The Undisputed Kingdom are supposed to be this big faction. They're supposed to be the ones taking over AEW Dynamite. We're in March already, and what have they taken over? What? I mean, there's so many things going on right now in AEW. You don't know what's going on. Tony Khan has a bunch of new toys now. He got Okada, he got Will Ospreay, and he got Mercedes Moné. Moné, right now, to be honest, I have lost the excitement as far as Mercedes Moné. It's like I don't care anymore. They're not doing really anything to push Mercedes Moné. What we've seen is we saw Willow beat won the 4-way, and now she gets a shot at Julia Hart, which tells me that Julia Hart, that belt, they're going to take it away from her very soon. Now, are we going to see Mercedes Moné against Julia Hart? We'll probably see that if Willow don't win the title. We're probably going to see that. So I'm really not too interested in that, because I figure all of a sudden you got the same 4 girls going through the same thing, but meanwhile, I don't see Ruby Soho. I don't see Saraya. Saraya will be a perfect fit in a feud with Mercedes Moné, because Mercedes Moné was the one in the ring when Saraya got her neck hurt that took her out of wrestling for a couple of years. That would have been perfect. Or if that may come down the line after the whole Willow and Mercedes Moné situation, that could happen. That could happen. The Okada situation, him winning the AEW Continental Championship, I don't have a problem with that. But like I said, Tony Khan has too many toys, and instead of him pushing certain people, the kingdom, he is not doing that. Instead, he's too busy with his new toys. Now, when you put the United Kingdom together, the Undisputed Kingdom, whatever you want to call them, the Undisputed Kingdom, to be this big faction in AEW in beginning of January, we haven't seen that. Adam Cole still haven't recuperate from being from coming back. Warlow looks like he's going to be right back to where he was when he was at MJF. He's going to be the lackey of a group, unless you bring in MJF back, and then we're going to have the Pinnacle get back together, which means FTR most likely is going to lose the tournament against the Young Bucks, because we see that happening. The Young Bucks probably going to end up winning the titles and whatnot. Remember, Young Bucks lost the titles was because Nick Jackson got hurt. So we could say, let's correct that, Nicholas Jackson. But anyway, so this whole thing with this tournament going on, first of all, the biggest bullshit win that I saw and I heard, but I haven't seen it yet, is the Infantry beating the House of Black because of Mark Briscoe. The House of Black, there's been words going around that they want to leave AEW. But again, you can't listen to anybody out here, because a lot of people like to talk bullcrap and the rumors and all that. So that right there, you're not giving the House of Black a chance for the tag team titles. It should have been Buddy Matthews, or actually Malachi Black and Brody King winning those tag team belts. No, instead they out of the tournament. Then you got the Ring of Honor tag team champion Matt Taven and Michael Bennett in the tournament, and they wrestled this week, and they lose to not even a tag team. They're part of a faction. They lost to Orange Cassidy and Trent Barretta. Trent Barretta and Orange Cassidy are not a tag team. So how the hell did we see them beating the Ring of Honor tag team champions? Now, I was talking to my boy Mike Sorrentino, where he posted something this morning about it. And I was like, well, you know what? Because he's not too happy with what they're doing with the Ring of Honor tag team championships. Which at first I was like, well, maybe they're doing that because, they're trying to advertise Ring of Honor and the champions, because maybe Tony Khan's still trying to get a TV deal for Ring of Honor, because let's be realistic, that the Honor Club, I bet you nobody's signed. You're not getting people to watch Honor Club or the Ring of Honor show every Thursday. Okay. Yet alone, we see the tag team champions, Bennett and Taven, lose to Orange Cassidy and Trent Barretta, who are not a tag team. How is that helping Ring of Honor? And if you're trying to get a TV deal for Ring of Honor, first of all, you doing that is not helping anybody who watches. Well, why would I want to get Ring of Honor wrestling when your AEW roster non-tag team just beat your champs from Ring of Honor? Which makes no sense. I mean, to me, it makes no sense. I don't know what Tony Khan is doing, because honestly, I try to defend this man, but every time I see the stuff that goes on AEW, it makes me shake my head, because you're trying to push Hook, which is, I mean, it's fine. You're pushing Hook, but now you're trying to probably have Chris Jericho as a mentor, which I don't know where's that going. Again, and as the fans of Ring of Honor tag champs losing in TV on AEW Dynamite TV, that does not help Ring of Honor at all. You know what I'm saying? At all. And if you're trying to push Ring of Honor out there, why don't you bring the women's champion Athena and put her in the ring with one of your woman roster, one of your top talent in the woman roster, and have Athena beat him? Shows you, look. But that's not what Tony Khan is doing. Instead, he's too busy worrying about what Eric Bischoff is doing. As you guys know, Eric Bischoff, Strictly Business podcast. There was the last episode is going to be this week, whatever it is, and Tony Khan replied to that. And I don't blame Tony Khan, because Eric Bischoff has been, targeting AEW for the last year and a half, because he did not get hired by Tony Khan. and whatnot. And he's been taking shots at him. So congratulations to Tony Khan for standing up for what he believes. And even though a lot of people don't like it, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, when it comes to him booking as of late, I don't like it. And he still hasn't hit the 1 million mark. Everybody talking about, well, he ain't got CM Punk. Please, again, CM Punk was in Collision and they didn't hit the 1 million mark. So that has nothing to do with it. It's just bad booking. And every time I turn around, people are worrying about the ratings. Or if they're not worrying about the ratings, is how many people in arenas. Well, if you don't like AEW, why are you worrying about their ratings? They how you call it, the attendance? You got nothing better to do. Just don't watch the shit. Simple as that. But if you're gonna get on social media and be a fucking troll and just got something to say all the time about AEW, you know, okay, WWE right now is up there. You know, y'all WrestleMania season. This is just WrestleMania season, guys. You're all happy because it's WrestleMania season, but what's gonna happen after WrestleMania season? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and WrestleMania, I don't know. It's not, to me, WrestleMania itself is not looking that great. I don't care about AJ Styles and LA Knight. Don't care about that match. Seen it already. I don't care about the 6 tag team challenge, pack challenge. I don't care. I mean, don't be surprised Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy appear for nostalgia because those two guys are old. They do not move needles. Let's be real. Okay. Who else? Only interesting, to be honest with you, is the Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins tag team match against Rock and Roman, night 1. Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley's getting all the cheers and everybody's booing Becky, so won't be surprised we'll see a Becky heel turn. And definitely want to see the Cody versus Roman the night 2. Anything else, I don't care. I don't care. I mean, honestly, I don't see. I mean, Sami Zayn against Gunther. Does Sami Zayn go and beat Gunther and ends his fucking title ring? I don't see it happening. I don't see it happen. And if it happens, well, you know what? It is what it is. I mean, it's about that time for Gunther to be in the world title picture. So we'll see what happens. So that's all I can say right now. You know, honestly, it's just like a lot of dumb stuff when you see stuff that they're going on in wrestling. So, you know, and especially wrestling fan, the wrestling community, that is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I see stuff like, oh, how great this whole situation with Cody Rhodes. And, you know, the word was used was fantastic. So it's not fantastic when AEW does it or when WWE does it. It's fantastic. It's great. You know what I'm saying? Come on, let's just be fair. And if AEW is not your cup of tea, don't watch it. Don't. Why you watch it? If you watch it to criticize, what that makes you? You know what I'm saying? You don't even give a chance to the damn company. Everything bothers you. WWE, when they do their show, not the whole entire show is great. Okay, not the whole entire show. Okay. AEW is the same way. They'll have great matches, like the Will Ospreay against Shibata was a freaking great match. You know what I'm saying? But then you have matches like, you know, the 4-way by the women. It wasn't that exciting to me. Don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole, you know, Mercedes Moné doesn't. I'm not happy about it no more because it's like she just show up and she hasn't wrestled. She has not wrestled. So if she's not clear, why is she coming out? That's number 1. But anyway, that is it for me today, guys. If you guys like what you hear, if you want to make a comment, leave your comments on down below. Tell me what you think about this video. Give me your feedback. Tell me what you think. If you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm right. At the end of the day, again, that's my opinion. And I respect yours. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So if you guys want to follow me also, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm most of the time on Twitter. Also check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up. Any content that you have missed, check my channel out. I got shorts. I got a bunch of content in there. And thank you for all those people who have subscribed to my channel. Also check out my podcast store, tcwr.veryinc. impressive.com. Again, that's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. And check out the shirts, the hats, and the hoodies that we got in there. It says show support to the podcast. I will gladly appreciate it. Until then, guys, I wish you nothing but the best, and I will see you guys next week with more Chokeslam Wrestling Report.